Good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to have a look at a movie which is one of Hitchcock's British period films, and it's his penultimate film in Britain before moving to America with the 1940 film of Rebecca, Daphne du Maurier's famous novel, which appeared on many readers' lists as one of the most essential books of all time. It's on Dimmock's 101 essential authors list. I haven't checked out the book, but I almost purchased it today, actually, and when I was in the bookstore. I'll have to look at it some other time. Um, Tonight I'm going to look at his film The Lady Vanishes. It's a 1938 mystery thriller starring Margaret Lockwood as a young woman who's about to get married in England. She's returning by train from her holiday in England, and her co-star is Michael Redgrave, part of the Redgrave dynasty of actors. Um, the film starts off kind of slow. It's a slow-burning film, like a lot of early films are. But don't let that put you off. The beginning is slow, but it does pick up. It starts off with a bunch of passengers stranded in a hotel in a fictional country in Europe. They're waiting for their train, which is going to return them to off the continent and back to England. She's one of them, and she's in her hotel room, and there's a musician, a composer upstairs in the room above her, staying in the hotel, and he's creating a lot of noise, and there's people dancing in his room, and banging on the floor. And she tells the manager to go up and tell him to be quiet, and so he ends up moving down into her room, and it pisses her off basically, and she tells him to go away, and it's the typical romance story. Like they start off hating each other and they end up loving each other, and that doesn't really spoil too much, by the way. It's not that's not the main thing in the movie. So we're introduced to them and some supporting characters in the hotel, including this pair of stuffy old Brits who only care about returning to England in time to watch the Test cricket match, and they're quite funny characters. And so they get up on the train, and she befriends an old lady on the train, Miss Froy, who's a governess back in England, and she suffers a head injury. Somebody throws a brick down at Miss Froy, and at this point in the film we don't know why, and it hits Margaret Lockwood's character by mistake, and she has a concussion and falls unconscious, and when she wakes up, Miss Froy is nowhere to be found, and nobody in the train knows where she is or who she is, and doesn't seem to think anyone of that name exists. And we as the viewers are left to think, is Margaret Lockwood going crazy? Is she suffering delirium from the trauma to her head, the concussion? Or is there some conspiracy going on? And for a while, we think that she's going crazy, but it turns out it is a conspiracy, and I won't give too much away, but it's a funny, quite action-packed, and really well scripted film. It's no surprise that he was invited to produce movies with David O. Selznick in America soon after this. This was his ticket into America, basically. I haven't watched Jamaica Inn, his last British film yet, but this is his second to last British film, and it is quite a doozy. It's a good one. I was quite impressed with this. The cast is good. The script is funny. The supporting characters are great, like the two English gents who care about nothing else other than getting home in time to watch their cricket, and a bickering married couple, and an Italian musician, and this old professor. It's a good supporting cast in this film, and a likeable heroine. Lockwood's an attractive girl. She's a pretty girl, and she's a good actress, and she's amusing to watch. Michael Redgrave is funny as well in his part, and it's a romantic film. It's a spy thriller. It's a mystery. This film has been remade a couple of times. I think they made a television miniseries version of it a few years ago. I recall seeing it on television, BBC or ITV or one of those. Can't remember who was in it, but I do recall that coming out a few years ago. Okay, and I won't give too much away about the climax, but I do recommend this one. This is a good film, and it's often justly so called by people one of his best films. It's one of his early classics from his pre-Hollywood days. I've got the copy which comes in this box set, the Hitchcock Collection Volume 2. It comes with a bunch of other Hitchcock films from the 1930s, including the original version of The Man Who Knew Too Much, which I might review at a later point. I might review that in tandem with its remake from the 1950s and just compare the two. The Lady Vanishes is a really good example of his early career. This DVD lacks subtitles, so you might have trouble making out all of the dialogue sometimes. But give it a chance. This is a good film. I recommend it. Buy this box set if you can. I'm not sure if it has a separate release. Some of his older films can be hard to find. I've had a real bugger of a time trying to find some of his older films. Watch it, enjoy it, and I'll be back with some more reviews soon. Have a good evening, everybody. This is Adam Walton, signing out.